Good afternoon, book fighters. It is Tuesday, July 10th, and I just got home. It's 11 o'clock at night. That's why this is a shitty webcam video. Well, that's not why this is a shitty webcam video, but I got home, tried to film my video, grabbed my camera, set up the tripod, did the whole thing, figured out what I was going to talk about, because the book is still not here. So I still haven't read the book because the library still hasn't given it to me. The cat won't stop making noise. I'm tired. I'm hungry. There's just those days where you just really, really don't want to make a video. It's one of those days. Shut up, cat. Shut up. Not right now. It's just one of those days. But yeah, so the book's still not here. Still can't talk about the book. I know everybody really liked my video last week where I told you guys the story of Shallot and Olwen. I'm really glad that you guys like that. I really like doing videos like that, but I don't usually get the chance to because it's usually not on topic. But since the book still isn't here, I don't have a lot of time, so I guess I have to pick a shorter story than I was planning on. So I guess I will tell you the story of the Lady of Shallot, which you've probably heard, based on the poem written by Tennyson? I think it's Tennyson. If I'm wrong, somebody tell me I'm wrong. But basically, if I know we read it in my British literature class, but if you haven't heard it, then strap in, and I'll put a link. I'll try and find the poem online and put a link to the actual poem in the bookshelf, bottom bar, whatever, because it's actually a really nice poem. I really enjoy it. But if you have heard it, then you can just stop watching the video, because, okay. So basically, the Lady of Shallot, there's this woman. She lives on a tower in an island in the middle of a river, and she weaves landscapes on a loom, like making tapestries, and she can only see the outside world via a reflection in the mirror because she's in like an unspecified curse that just makes it so if she looks out the window into the real world, she'll die. So she can only see the outside world through a mirror, and so when she's just weaving around, whatever. And Lancelot rides by on his horse, and she sees Lancelot in her mirror, and she's like struck by how beautiful he is, and she turns to look out the window to see him in real life because she's so tired of looking in the mirror all the time. She wants to see him for real, so she looks out the mirror. She looks out the window, and sees him as he's riding towards Camelot. But now that means she's gonna die. So she goes down to her tower and she finds a boat in the river, and she writes her name on it, and she gets in the boat and she sails herself down towards Camelot. And by the time she gets to Camelot, she's dead. And everyone kind of comes out of their houses to go see this dead girl in a boat in the river. And Lancelot rides up on his horse, and they're all like, "Hey, look, this chick, washed up on the banks of the river in a boat with her name written on it." And Lancelot kind of looks over into the boat, and he's like, "Oh, she was pretty, but she's dead now. That's a shame." And that's the end of the story. Literally, that's the end of the story. That's the whole story. It sounds a lot better when Tennyson tells it. He makes it sound really beautiful and tragic, and I make it just sound like, "Oh, dead girl in a boat. What are you gonna do? Happens all the time." But yeah, and now it's like 4 minutes, which means the audio is probably gonna start lagging, if you can even hear me at all, because my mic's been really like awkwardly quiet lately. So yeah, I'm gonna go, and I guess Linda, I will see you tomorrow. Fare thee well, book fighters.